Hold up. Any rate, I'm out of practice. Shut up. So, good morning. Good afternoon. Let me take. Oh, there's our music. I think I'm running slow. You know what? Let me reboot and come back. Hold on. I think I'm running slow on my end. So let me reboot and come back. It won't take long. Sorry. And all right. Oh, yeah, no. I just need to refresh. I apologize. I've been out of practice. Let's go. Oh. How you do that? I'll do that. There we go. At any rate, sorry about all that. I know, just rough. Rough and raggedy. I've been busy. Daddy been busy. Oh, y'all like my furniture hoodie? I know. I like it. At any rate, life's been good. When you actually go outside and touch grass, trust me, life is much sweeter. So, but I had to get on this because it's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and we're gonna cover what's going on, Simeon. Oh, you're right on time now. We're gonna eventually cover the JD Vance press conference, but now that I'm able to breathe, I've got some time to myself. We're gonna cover that. But yeah, this whole gerrymandering thing that's going on, where you got black people talking about we're losing our right to vote. That's not what's happening. You're not losing your right to vote. They're not Yes, they are rolling back the Voting Rights Act that gave you more voting power based on race than it did votes. Do you understand what that is? See, we didn't have the political power because our numbers were so low. So they gave us districts based on race. So do understand at the time, a lot of us were Republicans because of what happened during, as far as the Civil War. We owed them a whole. I'm an independent. I voted for Jill Stein. She's the only candidate talking about reparations. I knew Trump was going to win it. The Democrats, those people are crazy. They're the reason why we're in this mess. But I digress. At least it's getting cleaned up. Whether you like it or not. And I said it, the worst thing that they ever could have done, was taking a shot at that man. You should have never tried to kill that man. Should have never tried to do that. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I think my VPN is acting out. Hold on. All right. And get rid of you. Okay. All right. Now I got some buffering over here. Maybe it's just because of the StreamYard, because I haven't been on it in a while. Okay, my bad. Oh, it's the StreamYard. All right. So we had, that's how the Democrats, this is how the Democrats wound up rising into power. Because the Republican vote, they couldn't beat the Republican vote. So then they started trying to offer trinkets to Black people, since they lived in clumps of areas that they feel that they could control. The hell? They feel that they could control simply because of race, not by votes. Like, this is a Black district because this is where Black people are, and you got more Black people here. Over here you got like 100,000 Black people here, or whatever the number that they want to go by, where they feel that they have the majority numbers, where they feel that this Black representation needs to be accounted for here. So the Democrats took advantage of that. They took full advantage of that. They changed their whole strategy. They suddenly became the welfare party. And all it took was, I had them niggas voting Democrat 200 years. Whether he said the GA, the hard R, or Negroes, it doesn't matter. The sentence is on tape. Them welfare checks came in after feminism wormed its way in to make Black women think that their fight was different than our fight, because they want that pat on the head from Becky so goddamn bad. Why you think they still run around here in spiders makeup weave? Now they got this crap on their forehead where they trying to not so much look like the white girl, or try to have a different style than the white girl, not realizing that look that you're trying to go for is called bangs. Those are called bangs. Except you trying to baby hair bangs on your forehead, and it looks ridiculous. The eyebrows are enough. We can deal with that. Jesus Christ. At any rate, Why do you think they get so offended when you talk about hair and makeup? They don't think they look pretty enough. Man, it was so easy for Gloria Steinem to come up in here with her crew, distract the men by giving them the little taste, especially the leader. And behind closed doors, you can be what was the guy's name in Django? What was the character's name? Samuel Jackson. What was the character's name in Django that he played? Stephen. You can be the reverse Stephen. You're Stephanie. You're now in control. You're now in control. And ever since then, the mainly white lesbian man-hating feminist woman has been calling the shots in Black society ever since what? Like the 80s, 90s? Really I would really say the 60s. But like when they were really entrenched, they really got entrenched in the 80s, because in the 70s, Black women wore their hair natural. They still rock their natural look. But come the 80s, the carrot on the stick was when they changed the scholarship system to where they were handing out scholarships. I'm just telling y'all how this happened, how we got here. I'm just speaking facts. They dangled the carrot of a college education in order to get you off the welfare rolls back in the late 80s, early 90s. Okay. This is why a lot of Black girls, if you know this, they've been running that play ever since the late 80s. Where they pushing Black female power. Meanwhile, they push guns and drugs and death and decadent culture on Black men through the females. They get the females to accept the ninjas ain't crap culture. Got y'all out here killing each other over females. Hell, that y'all ain't even sleeping with. I mean, especially your sisters. You know how your sisters is. Why are you listening to your sister? You know she be over there starting shit. It'd be a two-way street. They be fighting each other, probably because of her mouth. You know that. So what the hell was you calling yourself doing? Yeah, well, games and prizes. Games and prizes. Games and prizes. You got Black chicks doing the white sugar daddy pipeline, pretending to be influencers when really they're just, remember that Instagram page, who's the sponsor, tag the sponsor, with a guy would fake like he was some rich dude over in Dubai and all this stuff, and showing these screenshots of how much money he had in his bank account and everything. And the girls would be ready to, fly to a Muslim country to sell a piece of tail, only for him to turn around and post all the screenshots. I mean, that was a very popular page. It was so popular, Instagram had to ban it. It was exposing too many women as prostitutes. How you think Deshaun Watson got caught up? Off Instagram. Quote unquote massage therapist. I mean, I'm just saying. We all know what the hell is going on. It's the oldest profession. But you got chicks who primarily chase after white boys. They want white boys to be their Johns. And especially if they can feel that, he my type and I can make some money off of him, because I mean, they never stop hustling. They never stop hustling. Even when on vacation, they never stop hustling. I guarantee you that's what that fight was about. Was that she never stopped hustling. She got to get her money. Yeah, I'm all in public with you and everything, but honey, you ain't got the money to be paying my bills, so I got to do what I got to do until you marry me. Do you put a ring on this finger? So I say I do. I'm gonna continue to do what I do, but I'm not gonna marry you until that money fall through. So we can play the lovey-dovey couple, but understand, I'm always on my grind, honey boo. Why you think Brittany ain't with her baby father, PJ? I mean, it's a game, It's a game. I mean, look at what's going on with ABBA. It's still the same game. It's just they just target influencers. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? You're no different than a TV actor or whatnot. You got to keep working because now I won this lawsuit against you. And I know losing that money gonna hurt, so you're gonna work twice as hard to make sure that your pockets get right, which means my pocket's gonna be right. So cut the check. What type of throat culture has people doing that? These people don't come from stable homes. These are the byproducts of single parent motherhood. All these YNs and whatnot. Boy, your son, if your I said this the last time I was on, I did the live, I took it down, where I said that my friends, their children sleep under their roof with their mother that they're married to. That's my friend group circle, however the situation is. You go to bed at night knowing that your son is just a few doors down. And he ain't going nowhere because his mama right here. You understand what I'm saying? It don't matter whether y'all getting along or not. The matter is, the second children come into the picture, just don't disrespect me. I won't disrespect you, and we'll raise this kid together, or I'll raise him by myself. I don't care. But I'm doing this for the child. At least, if it's not rocking like that, at least do that amicably. I'm not a bad father, and you're not a bad mother. You know what I'm saying? If whatever going on outside this house, it's just like Vegas. If it's gonna be some shit, tell me about it beforehand so we can deal with it together. Because we're just roommates pretending to be married for the sake, of our children. I don't care what you do, just don't be out here, you know what I'm saying, in front of my friends and stuff. Don't be somewhere. Look, go to the hotel on the outskirts of town or to their house. I don't care. Just don't be gallivanting all around town and flaunting it in my face. I get to work and somebody's co-workers snickering and whatnot, showing me a video of some guy with both hands on your ass while you grinding up against his thigh in some freaking Hispanic nightclub. Not a care in the world. Tongue all down his throat. Hey, Bob, ain't that your wife? Man, don't be doing that to me. Go out of town if y'all gonna do that, where, don't nobody know you. So there's no reason for them to point a camera at you like that. Unless, you like them people they got called at the stadium. They're like, oh! At the concert, the executive and the other chick, yeah, worked there. Oh, man. God damn it. We out of town. It's like Mike Vrabel and, the Taurasi chick or whatever, Rossini, whatever her name is, the little prostitute reporter. Like, hell, y'all might as well. Why did y'all just get married to each other? What was the point? So she got married to it's the NFL, so y'all gonna spare me a second. So she got married to the Google guy or Starbucks, whatever the hell. She got married to the corporate guy for financial security. Because I mean, this dude's a top exec. He shit 6 figures, 6 figures. Like, what am I, a burger flipper? This dude he making some money. She making 100K, but that ain't nothing compared to what he made. That's that. Now we got $10,070,000. That's what that is. That's that $70 money. That's somebody's rent because of Section 8. You know what I'm saying? Some government program. That's $70. That's what you bring to the table. You mean tell me this may not be my son? Woo! And y'all been at it ever since he was head coach of the Titans? You know how long it's been since he's been with the Titans? I mean, we talking about before he got fired. Shit, he was the Titans. Now he the Patriots. Man. I mean, her husband, if he don't go ahead and file for divorce, man, just go ahead and, just sit in the chair. Sit in the chair at the hotel. Sit in the chair at the hotel. Because you know, that's why it's there. It's for the cucks. Anyway, I'm sorry. So much I done missed out on I haven't talked about. Both sides have their issues. But on the Democratic side, the larger issue is that you're at a point now where you stripped the black man out of his house. I'm talking about the Democratic Party now. I'm talking about the Democratic Party. And as a refresher, because I think some people really get it wrong, especially Brandon Johnson, who twice said that Trump wants a rematch of the Civil War. Why would we want a rematch? We kicked your ass. You lost. You lost. I mean, rematch. You want a rematch. You'll lose again. You're starting to realize that with this whole gerrymandering, redistricting thing that the Supreme Court keeps slapping down. Yeah, you're realizing that you're outnumbered. Why you try to urge black people to get out and vote, because for the longest you were winning elections simply based on the black vote. You understand? You were winning races, you were winning districts mainly based on the black vote. Didn't matter about how many people voted in that area that voted Republican. Did you have the majority black vote? You didn't have the majority vote overall, but you had the majority black vote. So because this is my district, I won this district because we gave black people these rules where if it's more than this many of them in a district, then we get to claim this district because they need a voice in politics. They felt their voices wasn't getting heard by people that were running who they agreed with. You understand? These people were not winning over the public with their message. So therefore, they felt that the black vote was being suppressed. Now, you can say it's based on race. Hell yeah. This country was founded on race. We know that. Great survival of the fittest. That's been wars going on this land before the white man got here. It's always been survival of the fittest. So they're like, fuck it, we'll play. And they won, unfortunately, because they had gunpowder from China, which, we didn't have. Talking about the Native Americans. Y'all like to say ADOS or whatever. However you want to call it. I mean, the cavalry wasn't fighting just a bunch of red-skinned people. All right. Hell, they beat off the blacks, the reds, and the Mexicans, and the browns. Okay. I mean, everybody beats the Browns. They beat the Browns. Understand? They formed their borders. They claimed their territory. I mean, shit. Unfortunately, the better man won because he had better weaponry and continues to have it. So everybody loves it here. They feel very safe. At any rate, no. So that's how the Democrats they needed power. They needed power. So their districts were based on race, and if you won your district based on the amount of votes, especially based on race, because a lot of black people voted Democrat, which I'm going to talk to them on in a second, then they won that district even though more Republicans voted. But that's your district, so you won it. You know what I'm saying? Based on race, not solely on race, but a lot of black people vote Democrat. But everything changed. We were not like that. The Dixiecrats were the majority slave masters and overseers and their minions, the people that, said that, you touched their daughter or, you look great, a white woman, or, the whole Emmett Till type of situation, Rosewood, Tulsa, bumped into an elevator. Yeah, we weren't voting Democrats. Those were majority Democrats that were doing that to us. You don't curry the favor of a voting bloc and then abuse them. I mean, keep in mind, they had to have the National Guard down here in the South after the Emancipation Proclamation just to protect the black people from being slaughtered. The birth of the KKK. Those were Dixiecrats who during the war became the Confederacy. And after the war, their outlining soldiers became Klansmen. The Dixiecrats, breaking away from the tag name the Confederacy, seeing how they lost, went national and became the Democratic Party. The great party switch was you. You really think that one day white folks on both sides of the aisle woke up and said, you know what, I'm going to be a Democrat, not only a Republican. I'm going to hate black people from this side. That's not what happened. It was you. It was you. Lyndon B. Johnson dangled the carrot on the stick, all at the behest of J. Edgar Hoover. Like, let me send in the brown-haired and brunette white girls because we don't like them. This little Tinkerbell. We don't like them. They can go and play in the mud all they want to. Yeah. Tell them sisters this, tell them sisters that. That's why they sent the white lesbian man hating feminist ideologues. They sent them in there. Do understand feminism was created because black men had more rights politically and socially than white women. And it's like, how dare you treat that Negro better than me? That's all those women's rights marches were all about. You were freezing them out of jobs. You were giving jobs to your most skilled labor force that you now had to pay. You just turned around, you just gave him back his job, but you paid him now. You were forced to pay him. You couldn't work for free. And they got mad, especially when they were able to hold public office, because somebody needs to represent their people in government. And the Republicans were all too willing to let them do that. They gave them the right to vote. Shit, they can govern themselves. They can pick their own leaders. We still do that today. And then Lyndon B. Johnson was understand that welfare was just supposed to be a temporary relief because of everything going on with the Civil Rights Act. But by then, feminism was nice and entrenched. Nice and entrenched. Nice and entrenched. So then comes Lyndon B. Johnson. And he signed the Home Act. Was the Homestead? The Home Act. Which part of that was you as a single mother can file for public assistance, aka welfare, because we feel that somebody must be home with the children. So we're going to help you out. We'll pay your rent, like gas, telephone, even give you some stamps so you guys can eat, just enough to survive off of, maybe have a little something extra, until you get up off your feet and get a job. Catch is, can't have a man in the house. No working age males in the house over the age of 18. Can't do it. You do that, it's a violation. You lose your benefits. And you have to get your ass out there and work. And because of the civil rights movement, Miss Sally, scared to death that you might suddenly decide to go all Django on her children and her with a kitchen knife, she fired your ass. She got Consuela. Consuela wasn't worried about this stuff. No. Consuela do exactly what she's supposed to do. You ain't coming in here unless I said, hey, look, I'm expecting such and such. You ain't coming in here. Oh, no. I mean, occasionally she might steal the toaster, say it don't work. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I mean, I pay her a living wage, but it's tough when you're a single mother. Or your husband's at home, he's a deadbeat. Or maybe, you're an immigrant, because this is really how they get those jobs. Your papers are dirty. You can't really do the housekeeping. So as far as like at a hotel, whatnot, all the jobs are full. So luckily we were in need of a housekeeper. And you like, screw it. I'd rather, wash some dishes and mop some floors in the safety of this house than be on the back of a work truck. Talking about some cutting grass and putting shingles on roofs. I definitely ain't working no construction job. No, that's how. So yeah, you were easily replaced by illegals. And ain't no jobs out here. You could have got you a black job, but a lot of black businesses started shutting down because, people who had access to disposable income after the Civil Rights Act bill was passed. It was illegal to discriminate against people, especially in shops and businesses. They took that money across the other side tracks. Hence the phrase, the white man's ice is colder. They took that money right over the tracks. And within 6 months to what, maybe a year or 5, you saw a whole lot of black businesses dry up. That's what killed your neighborhoods. And meanwhile, while all that was going on, you had women by the scores signing up for public assistance, and they was processing all the applications they could. Because you understand, the Democrats filibustered this act because of this very thing. This got black people voting Democrat. At first, they were against it. It was because, as far as they was concerned, that was the first step towards reparations. Like, give them free money to lay up and, be bed wenches and mammies and whatnot. No, over my dead body. I mean, these are, your Dixiecrat / Confederate / Klansman member got Joe Biden calling you the hard ER on the congressional floor on camera like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing. It was like in the 90s. This is 90s Biden. You sat up there. Lyndon B. Johnson was able to convince his constituents or his congressional members, his Democratic Party members, that the reason why you should be for this is because you will then have financial and psychological and a fencing in, if you will, because communal control, because we're going to dump all of these Section 8 houses in the inner city. We might put out some around the outskirts, but not too many, because property values and whatnot. But we're going to central that within these inner cities, where there's really very little vegetation. All right. I mean, at least they get first dibs on the drinking water as it comes out of the filter. But, these are not areas you really want to live in. These are concrete jungles. Plus, do understand, it'll be no different than back when they were on the plantation. You know how it was. They're down in the slave quarters. There's probably a fight, over something stupid, whose cotton weighed the most that day. I mean, they're betting on this stuff. All right. So if somebody winds up being a sore loser, or, the person can't pay, then, you have these fights down here. And sometimes, it gets pretty violent. All right. I mean, it's not like these are educated people. We made sure of that. They're easier to control when, they're subservient like that. Get a Negro preacher in here to, represent them with the Bible, with certain passages that we pick out for them to read that'll help make you a good slave and keep y'all, give you some sense of morality and purpose. Calm you down. Yeah. Wait on God and Jesus. God and Jesus gonna take care of everything. Just believe in God and Jesus. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Pray it out. Pray it out. Yeah, don't bash his head in with the skull. I mean, don't bash his head in with a rock. Don't bash his skull in with a rock. Just breathe. Just breathe. There you go. There you go. Pray to Jesus. Jesus said he would give his brother how many times? 7 times, 7 times, 7 times. What number are you on? Yeah, come on. Reach that Jesus number. Please don't kill him. That you're costing me money, because then I got to punish you. And, and then you're out of work, commission, for 6 weeks or whatever long it takes for you to heal. I'm losing productivity here. And make sure you understand what I'm saying. Give me your wife, or give me your daughter, or where's she at? Give me your son. Taking him up to the big house. He'll be back in the morning. He'll be back before you wake up. You made me come down here. Yeah, those people, those are Democrats. Those are your majority Democrat slave masters. He convinced those people that it would be for their betterment if they went ahead and gave these women welfare and food stamps and Section 8. Because then you have full control of them at the low cost of what was it then? Maybe $600 a check or whatever. With the federal government, we got money coming out of our ass. We can afford this. We can afford this. You know, just call it a poll tax or a black tax. Call it a black tax. Hunting your wives and daughters and friends and mothers. Your little brother. Is that what you really want? Or do you at least want to gate them in? I mean, why do you think we have so much security at sporting events? Yeah, if you just stay on the path, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Trust me, we'll protect you. We'll be safe. We'll even protect you from each other. We know how stupid y'all get over teams. You understand? You're both going. I don't care who started it. You're both going. Let the judge sort it out. At any rate, I know I'm getting off track. No, but that's yeah, they really had to think about that. And they decided, you know what? Screw it. We'll give it a shot. If we don't like the results, then we'll repeal it. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we can at least do that. So they went ahead and they passed the act. And I mean, look at us now. Look at us now. Do you know how evil of an act that was? I hate to say it, but I know I've said it before, but you know, we need to own up to the fact that black women betrayed us in this whole situation. They chose the money over us because they too lazy to work. Of course, you know how it went. The more kids you had, the more money they put on the check. And of course, you know what happened with them checks. Why do you think prostitution was so high? Why do you think there's so many junkies in the 70s? So much crime. And guess where it was centralized? Yeah, right there in the inner city, in the ghettos. Those were hit the hardest, the most. So why nobody bats an eye when somebody black gets killed by somebody else black. That's why you don't get a Black Lives Matter. That's why you don't get an Al Sharpton or anything like that. Ain't no money in it for them. The money is in pimping racism. How you do that? You know, you just appeal to people's lower instinctual nature based on stereotypical evidence. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because we know it happened. You know, the best thing that ever happened to us was body cams, and the worst thing that ever happened to us was body cams. At first, it was all positive. See, we was telling y'all. That's this whole George Floyd thing. Nobody give a shit about George Floyd like that. That nigga ain't no saint. Fucking drug addict holding a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. Bro, that's Hell Express. You goddamn right. He looking up at us. Shit, what the hell are you talking about? That motherfucker didn't go to heaven. You know, for those who believe in that motherfucker did not go to heaven. You put a loaded gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. I don't care if you saved 100 nuns from a church fire. like you was Quicksilver, irredeemable. If you spiritual or Christian or religious, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you just believe in just law and order, whatever higher power you believe in, if you really think they would let a motherfucker like that into their realm, then heaven is a ghetto. You understand? Heaven is a ghetto. At any rate, oh shit, the joke is funny, man. They making a big deal out of this shit because that's what race hustlers do. Everything is offensive. I mean, you had Patrice Cullors up there trying to hold a press conference, and this chick actually laughed in the press conference when she was talking about why they were suing. Yeah, about the joke. I said George Floyd looking up at us, and then she chuckled. Man, that nigga hell. Shut up. He ain't no martyr for us. His just happened, happened at a time where everybody was at home. Everybody was watching TV. There was nothing else to do. We was on lockdown. So now everybody actually had a chance to sit back and see what we was talking about. And whether he died of fentanyl or not, the simple fact that this dude is sitting up here got his knee on this man's neck or whatever for 6 minutes. He was already cuffed and in the car. Why'd you let him out? Y'all do understand he was already in the car. They never show that part of the tape. He was already in the car. The dude, and I don't know why they don't show all of this. I guess because it'd make it a whole lot worse. But because everybody captured the 6 minutes. That's how we got the 6 minutes, cell phone footage. But they don't show you the security footage where when they pulled him out he was already handcuffed when they took him out to the car, out of the check cashing place. They had him in the car. But you know how it is. He was a, difficult arrest. So he kicking and banging on the doors. He talking smack, because he finna go to jail because he was hoping. I mean, you had to be pretty desperate to be trying to pass off a $20 bill, a fake $20 bill at a check cashing place. Come on, bro. You should have known. You knew you should have took off when she didn't immediately make the transfer. When she told you, well, hold on a minute. It's going to be a minute. Let me process this. And she went to the back or whatever. She started stalling you out. You was already busted. Common sense would have told you that. Like, damn, they put this shit in the movies all the time. The police don't show up just that quick. You got at least a minute or two before they get to you. If it ain't a quick, smooth transaction, you busted. They just stalling you out. And that's what happened. So they showed up, they arrested him, they cuffed him in the store, they took him out to the car. Of course, he doing all this crazy shit in the back. So then that's when, I forget the guy's name, Daryl, whatever. The cop that, had the knee on his neck. Sorry, I haven't thought about this crap in forever. He dragged him out of the car. First, he opened the door, and he was hitting him with the baton. Bam, bam. He was hitting him in the ribs and whatnot with the baton. Trying to get him to, chill out. Because, he was pissed. And this is where he messed up. He messed up because once he's in the back of the car, everything is good. You'll get him inside the station. Hopefully he'll calm down. If not, you got severe backup. But instead, you let your anger get the best of you. So you went and opened the door, beat on him with the baton, and then you yanked him out of the car. Because people saw you ramming the dude, wham, 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 with your billy club. And then that's when they all of a sudden everybody start, hold on, I call you back, you know, getting their camera phones ready. And by that time, boom, you had slammed him to the ground and had your knee in his neck, grinding his face into the concrete in order to teach him a lesson. He was trying to subdue him or make him submit. I mean, this is all on you. I'm not making excuses for this dude. That's why he in jail. Derek Chauvin. Okay. Bro, you got every year you deserve because your actions led to his death, whether it was by asphyxiation or the freaking fentanyl. Your actions led to his death. Either way, you're responsible. 100% on either side because you had him in the car. If he'd have died on the way there, it would have been out of your control because nobody's touching him. He back there by himself. He's doing it to himself. You're in the clear. This is why they start strapping these people up. Y'all watch these body cams, they now strap these people up like mummies when they act like they want to bang their head and kick and fight. They break out the restraints. You want to talk about slave catcher? You might as well be wearing leg irons fused together. You ain't moving nothing. And they got a spit hood for you. So you be spitting in your own face. They didn't have all that stuff back then. I mean, they did, but they didn't use it. You know, it wasn't something that they would do. That's why they be tripping about, you know, you call them cops for mental health reasons. Well, this is why they have this stuff now. Just in case it is a mental situation and they show up and they have somebody that's uncontrollable that they can, instead of billy clubbing them into submission, they now tase them or pepper spray them. Non-lethal methods. And then they'll wrap you up if you still want to be competitive after they've got the cuffs on you. Then they wrap you up. Policing has changed, which makes us look bad because a lot of people getting wrapped up and cuffed up was us, especially during the Biden administration. But I digress because Democrats said it's okay to steal anything under $1,000, not considered theft. And, you know, Walmart begs to differ. Walmart begs to differ, as does Kroger, as does Publix. I mean, y'all see why? That's why they have a cop right there on scene, and they normally by the security door. They now got security cameras that track your face and what's in your pocket or in your sock that you call yourself stealing. Anything that you walk out that door and then pay for, it gets tagged on you. They don't get you for petty theft. No. That's not really worth their time unless you stealing money as an employee. No, you steal a little spatula or six case of pop. You know, they just put it on your tab because through facial recognition, no matter which Walmart you go in. And then once it get up to a certain amount, let's say $1,000, then as soon as you come out, you've won the grand prize. You went over the $1,000 mark. What we got for him, Johnny? Fresh beer cups. That's why they have the cops sitting there, or just in case you trying to get outrageous, trying to steal a floor model and shit. And if you notice now, the Walmart greeters, you got to show your receipt to. They now wear body cams. They now wear body cams because they don't want to be liable for shit. Everything will be on tape. You no longer your word against the employees. We got it on tape. Yeah, that scam is over. All that is over. At any rate, this is how you get Democratic districts because of welfare and feminism. Because they feel that the Democrats gave them that check because now they like them. They like you now. This is a step towards acceptance. They felt it was a peace offering when really it was just a trap. You've been caught in that trap for over 70 years. I mean, you listen to how these people talk, you see how they act. And now, as we sit here, 2026, I hate to tell you this, but 2024 was when the writing was on the wall. That's actually, they already knew the writing was on the wall during the 2016 election of Donald Trump, because he won by vote. He won by vote. Even though Hillary stole Bernie Sanders' nomination, he won by vote. And that's when the Democrats realized, like, you know what? You can't win with the black vote anymore. It's not enough. We need to import more voters. So, I mean, as we're seeing, they stole the 2020 election. I mean, this stuff going on down here with these whole voting situation and whatnot, they like, man, I can't believe this. They're like, wow, like we got their hands caught up in all the cookie jars. We just going up the ladder to see who's all involved and how far it goes. Let's see how far it goes. Motherfuckers going to jail on this one. But at any rate, they stole the vote. They opened the border and they imported people from all over the world. And they knew that for black folks, they wasn't just going to give up the ship easily. This is why Biden told them, yeah, release your jails, your insane asylums, whatever. We'll even pay you through USAID a stipend to send these people up here. Maduro even said last year when Trump got elected, he was like, hey, look, when Trump started looking at him, he was like, hey, look, man, I tell you everything Biden did. Biden told me to send the migrants up there. He told me to empty my jails and my insane asylums. He sent me the money and we sent them to America. Like Biden told me to do that. You know, he just snitching. You know, he's the squealer. Maduro was the squealer. He was weak. I mean, look how easily he was captured. He was the weakest enemy. And he a snitch. This is why you got Democrats getting arrested for voter fraud connected to Venezuela, those Venezuelan voting machines. You got people going to jail for that. I guarantee you this Fulton County thing is probably the same way. Plus you got the mail-in ballots. Yeah, so the Democrats flooded America, particularly black areas and already brown areas, with illegals. A lot of them, you got a lot of criminals, cartel members, and just regular crazies running around these streets. Luckily, their sexual target is white females. You know, occasionally a sister get caught up, but their main target is white females. You know, but don't get it twisted. They'll go, if they think she's pretty enough, they'll go for her. I mean, the guy, the Hispanic dude that killed the little black girl, the 19-year-old, chopped up her body and everything. I mean, I read the report on that. I mean, she was hooking. She went to that Hispanic bar to, you know, make some money. I mean, come on, look at that dude. The roommate said from what they heard, you know, it was consensual, and it got quiet, and then suddenly it didn't sound consensual anymore. And then next thing you know, there's a body chopped up in the backyard. You got some psychos out here. You got some psychos out here. But they're here for the Democratic vote because, look, Joe Biden wasn't going to cut it. So it was like, well, we need somebody that we can appeal to and maybe win with the majority black vote and hopefully Hispanic vote, since they're here already and we're not doing the whole ID thing. We can continue to run the scam. Other migrants, maybe we can do that. Maybe we'll have enough votes to get over the hump. But what these people fail to understand, and this is funny, Mexicans that or South Americans that come here, right? That come here, uh, what they do is they vote Republican because the reason why they're here is because of Democratic leadership in their Southern Hemisphere countries, which are socialists and communists, because they feel that everybody should be treated equally. But the only person that's being treated equally, or people that are being treated equally, are those who have the wealth and the power, which is really capitalism. And how they get you is theft through taxation. Do you understand? Because of taxation. That's why there's food rations and everything. You control businesses, you seize businesses through taxation. Oh, you want to close down? Hey, people, do you want us, the government, to run this grocery store? Yes, please. We need the grocery store. Okay, we'll open up a city run grocery store right here and we'll stock it with vegetables and everything. And of course, we all know what happens in a democracy / socialist / communist country. Everybody gets a cut. Everybody gets a cut. Everybody gets a cut. Everybody with a title gets a cut. You got to get zoning for this and inspection for that. I mean, everybody gets a cut of that money. Do you understand? Everybody gets a cut of the budget. And then by the time you get down to all the now money that you as the administrator can control, you're operating on a very limited budget. Like, damn it, I thought he said we got 50 million, to restock the grocery store. Like, well, yeah, after all of the inspections and whatnot and the taxes, this is what was left, because everybody done touched that money, because of socialism, communism, democracy. So there's nothing. There's hardly nothing left. Out of 50 million, you might get 5. Like, damn, like that's enough. I can only run this store another month and a half on that if I stock it the way I need to stock it, which is full. I can't do that. So I got to somehow stretch this out until more funding comes through. And they won't give me more than that. They cap it. Because then they're asking me, what am I doing with the money? Like, well, I got the receipts. Why do you think your schools are so out of date? Why do you think he did away with the Board of Education? Bureaucracy, democracy. Funding's going straight to the schools. Let the city fund their schools till we get a hold on the federal funding, what they're doing with the money. Because this is ridiculous. We're going to cut this red tape. No more pocketing little $10 million here, $1 million there. Because you're the boss. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. Same playbook with NGOs. 5 million come in the front, 4.5 go out the back. The administrator gets a salary of $250,000 a year, self-raised, and the other $250,000 is spent on operational costs. A lot of that money that goes out the back door is now paying people to protest, because a lot of these people don't have jobs, and in this economy, you'll get paid either way you can. And if they're offering $1,000 or $2,000 a day for something like that to come out here with a stupid sign, and yell how much I hate Trump, I'll gladly do it. To my them, not me, but some people are just that desperate. These NGOs are a good place, a good place for these people who feel that they've been cheated by the system to go and work for, get paid to vent your frustrations. And as you can see, a lot of these people, when they're interviewed, they're ill-informed and they're violent. AOC Thompson, we're going to pull up to the South. Girl, behind bulletproof vest, this girl said, we're going to pull up on the South. The North is going to pull up on the South. She said that standing behind 2 slats of bulletproof glass. If that's not the typical little sister syndrome, you the big brother, so she gonna stand behind you and yell and curse and scream at whoever you trying to hold her back from fighting for her. Suddenly, she got all this mouth and all this bark. Why she gonna do something? But she know that as long as you are there as her human shield to protect her from getting hurt, then she gonna run her mouth. She gonna talk her biggest crap, and then gonna be scared out here in the streets for a minute, looking over her shoulders, hoping that the girl don't catch her by herself. I mean, it's laughable that she said that. Not realizing that now that they've decided to, and this is the funny thing people need to understand about the Supreme Court slapping down gerrymandering based on race. It has to be by vote percentage, as far as registered voter and last count. This many registered voters won this district based on the amount of votes. So this is their district because they represent the majority of the people. That's what a democracy is about. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're a constitutional republic, but if you want to see democracy done right, that's it. Under the constitutional republic, we are a nation governed by laws, and that's what our laws say. You get the most votes in this area, this is your district, because you represent the majority here. It's not based on race, it's based on votes. But because we had the Voting Rights Act, because black people felt underrepresented, the Republicans did us a solid and gave us districts based on race, because they know that you're more than likely willing to listen to one of your representatives, like a MLK or Martin Luther King or whoever. This is how we have all of these classic black heroes and legends and whatnot in the fight for civil rights, which at any rate, how we behaved when we got it, that's on us. But I digress. We have never shaken that generational curse of plantation politics. But I digress. Because of that, it was easy for black representatives to win their districts because the vote was based on race. But Supreme Court is labeled or has decided to say, hey, anything based on race is illegal. Race and I mean some sex, yes. Yeah, race and sex. When they kicked men out of women's sports and spaces. Yeah, they did both at the same time. So the Supreme Court said you cannot discriminate based on race or sex. It's illegal, no matter in which form it comes, whether it's white on black or black on white or Indian on, Mexican, whatever. That's why Umar can't have an a school for black boys. He can't have a school for black boys. He gotta let everybody in. He can't discriminate based on race or sex, unless he's a private school, which he's not. And even though you're unchartered, you still have to follow the laws of the land. The only way you'll be able to do that is if you're a specialist school, i.e. a private school, where the education is, it's just like religion. This is what we teach here. We teach Judaism here in this school and at this church. If you live in the area, if you live in our district, if you will, our zone, if you live in our tax bracket, our tax zone, our zip code or whatever, then your kids can go to school here. But because we are the majority voting bloc here, this is what we're teaching our kids to learn. So you can come if you live in the area, but understand this is what we're going to be teaching the children in this school. We're going to indoctrinate them with this. It's the whole purpose of a zone. It gives people of like mind to congregate and control the region in which they vote and agree with each other at the most. You can't have that based on race. I mean, as far as like when it comes to voting and any acts of discrimination based on race and sex and religion. It's illegal. So now all of these zones are now turning up Republican because they've taken race out of the equation. They've gone by the votes. This is why there's a whole sea of red that you see spreading across the United States. And the worst thing that happened was that, as Hakeem Jeffries said, we're going to F around and find out. Like, well, yes, you most certainly are, because you pushed the Supreme Court to already make the decision. You understand? This was already on the book since last year. The Supreme Court was going to make a ruling on gerrymandering based on race, and already knew that they was going to strike it down because they struck down DEI because it was illegal. It was based on race and sex. All right. In the streets, it became about religion. Socially, it became about religion. People fighting for territory. Because they knew when they had to rig the 2020 election, they knew that they were in trouble. And then the 2024 election came, and like Trump said, it's too big to rig. Because as far as we're seeing, they rigged the first one, and it's like, yeah, he came back stronger than ever because people saw what you were doing as the Democratic Party. And you were going to tear this country apart in order to get your way. You went to schools teaching Marxist ideology. You went here trying to decenter men so badly that you're trying to force them into homosexual relationships. So much so that you're telling them that they're trans. You telling all of these awkward, undateable, even the brothers won't mess with her, white girls. You got them thinking that you're not just a lesbian, you're also a man. You're a female to male. Don't get your breast cut off. Just have them shape it into a wiener. Yeah, do that. Show them who the real man is. Woohoo. You let them convince your children of that. And if you didn't go along with it, they would label it as child abuse and press charges on you. They would take your children from you. The state would take your children from you if you called your child by the name you gave it at birth. But because now it wants to go by a different name because they pretending to, be a different sex just in order to fit in, because social media's got people thinking that this is the cool thing to do to get some attention. Yeah, the courts was considering that child abuse and take your kid from you. Start forcing your daughter to go into the men's bathroom in high school. No, you identify as a boy, right? Yeah, go use the men's bathroom. No men are allowed in the girls' bathroom, and you say you're a man, so get your ass in the boys' bathroom. And them high school boys are like wolves. You don't throw fresh meat into a den pack. You just don't. It's all scared and shivering. No protection whatsoever. Trying to play a stupid game. These people are sick. All because they wanted control of your children who are a future voting bloc. They imported all these illegals, gave them hotels and everything, put them up in nice hotels and whatnot, feeding them steak and lobster and stuff. They throwing this shit away. These people came up here and set up a criminal enterprise, fleecing the country of millions, selling drugs everywhere, prostitution everywhere, sex trafficking, really. On top of that, you got Chinese spies in our government being arrested. That mayor out there in California, Zhang Chao, used to be the mayor of Oakland. I mean, you got Chinese spies in our government. You got pirates in our Congress just ripping us off. Socialists just ripping us off, pushing socialist communist rhetoric, trying to give the illegals something that they want to vote for. Hey, fool. The reason why the districts in heavily populated states where there are illegals, you know why? Well, people that are once illegal, who actually got their citizenship papers and everything, they did it the right way. You want to know why the majority of them vote Republican? Because they've already been through democracy. That's why they're here. They want nothing to do with that. And I hate to tell you this, but a lot of those people that you let in across this border, they want the same thing. They know not to vote for this communist socialist shit. That's why they risk their lives to come here on the government's dime, rushing the gates. In this economy. And your stupid black ass out here talking about, sending them back home is racist. What? Okay, you got your job. What about the other brothers who need these jobs? Maybe you get some of these YNs off the corner if, They had jobs that paid them at least $15 an hour instead of 9 like they pay y'all. You get 9, so he get 9? No, 15. He's American. Only way he can get 15 is if you ain't here. Yeah, see, black people don't think like that. Black jobs. Yeah, Democratic Party knew with this Kamala Harris election. I mean, 92 and 77% of the black vote should have put you over the top. Should have put you over the top. 92 and 77% of the black vote, and you still got blown out. You got 60% of the second largest group that voted for Kamala was Latino women at 60%. And then I think it was Asians at maybe like women, 54%. And the lowest, as far as where they had a demographic, was white women at 43%. So all of this push to make Kamala Harris the president. I mean, damn. She could have won it on the white vote if they believed in her, especially white women. I mean, 43%. That was the lowest demographic. That was the lowest demographic. Outside of white men who voted for Trump, the second highest group was white women. And then came Hispanics, then the Asians, then the rest of the blacks. And of course, the others. Of course, when they decided that you could no longer gerrymander based on race, you was going to lose. You was going to lose. You knew that. Now you sitting up here talking about destroying a whole Supreme Court, a state Supreme Court, because they voted down your measure because it was illegal. You lied in the booth as far as you had a misleading question. You wasn't clear and concise in what you were doing in your wording. Plus, even if that did go through legally, no, what you're proposing is against the law. It has to be represented by the vote, not by the racial demographic. Can't gerrymander this state. That was a huge blow. But then what happened down in Louisiana? Oh, that was even major. Because we know Louisiana is support. Yeah, it's supposedly a blue state. It could go either way. But the thing about it is that that's only because of race. It's a black state. But the majority of the people there vote Republican. So when you took away the gerrymandering based on race down there, you lost Louisiana. You lost Louisiana like you normally lose Georgia. You're gonna lose Ohio. That's no longer gonna be a swing state. Neither will Pennsylvania, as much as they're trying. That's why they need to win elections. But all of this wouldn't have happened if you'd have played fair. You tried to shoot the president. You tried to assassinate the president, and you missed. You went for the king, and you missed. So now he's giving you the death rattle with this voting thing. Wait until they start prosecuting y'all for all of this fraud going on. Don't think you getting away. I mean, this is why JD Vance here was made the fraud czar. If he can bring the cases to whoever is going to be head of the DOJ, because the one guy said, the one that's in charge now, because Pam Bondi was dragging her ass so much, you swore that she was a rhino. You know what I'm saying? And as far as I'm concerned, she was a rhino. She did a whole lot of finger wagging on Sean Hannity's show all the time, but you saw very little action, very few arrests. No investigations, no big investigations coming down the pike. You know, you sitting up here being bombarded with questions about Epstein. Trump released the files and he moved on. He left it for y'all to squabble about because he knew his hands was clean. So here you go. Over 3 million files with more to go and shit. And I'm like, damn, y'all kept a serious paper trail on this man. So much so that you could destroy the whole system. But people are going to be very disappointed in the heroes. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be very disappointed in the heroes. There's a reason why people like Tom Hanks fled the country and whatnot and timidly came back. George Clooney's been quiet. You know, Obama out here trying to put his face back out here with the people. You understand? All of this is, you know, motherfuckers setting up a defense, trying to rebuild public trust and, you know, keep their heads down. That's all this is. That's all this is, because they know, like, yo, this dude is serious. Usually when there's be it a Democrat president, by the midterms, you're going to have a Republican Congress and or Senate, and vice versa. But not this go around, because now that the Supreme Court was forced to rule that gerrymandering based on race was illegal, because under the guidelines of the federal government, the rule of the law is discrimination based on race and sex, handicap, etc., religion is illegal. Period. No more favoritism. You have to win on merit. We're going to follow the law. We're a constitutional republic. We're going to follow the law. You've lost. You've lost. I mean, just the simple fact that you won't win any races based on race, based on the racial vote. You sitting at 13% of the population. No. They didn't take away your right to vote, and they didn't take away your voice. Run better candidates. Run better candidates, or better yet, vote for better candidates. You need to find out which candidate, whoever's talking what, best suits your needs. You want to get a Justin Pearson up there? Well, you know, hopefully he can win based on votes and not based on, you know, how many black people voted for him. You got to win this on votes. Because of a district. No. You got to win a vote, bro. You got to win the vote. It's not enough for you. It's not enough. It's not enough. Okay, let me put it to you like this. Not only is it not enough of you in an area to where you could win based on the vote, but even we do understand we have to like what you're saying. When you was the original Justin Pearson and you was talking all that fairness and equality and, you know, I'm more about having a conversation with both sides. I'm trying to be fair. When you was doing all of that, people would give you a shot. You know, it's just like with Obama. You know, the white vote got him in there twice. The white vote got him in there twice. He had a lot of Republicans voting for him, be it out of guilt or, you know, let's give a brother a chance. We see what the Democrats is doing to him. You know, we trying to keep a leash on him as the Republicans, but we want to give him another shot because he did do some things for us. He did play ball with us. Even though we gave him a rough time, he did play ball with us. Some things were out of our control. I mean, he is the president. You know, he is the president. You think it was Democrats that were issuing those drone strikes? You think it was just Democrats that had kids in cages? You understand? Shoot, no. He played ball. Justin Pearson ain't gonna win no white vote with no white voters. Not gonna get that because he a clown. He been a clown ever since he got out there. It was like right after COVID, all of a sudden he, you know, chia pet. Yeah, his time in government is up. Y'all see that video of him dancing at the graduation ceremony? Putting on the whole performance just days after he calling cops boy and whatnot, you know, talking like he tough. You know, talking like he tough. Talking like he tough. Well, now they don't move nobody but the stupids. You ain't serious. Look at you. Matter of fact, I probably told the story. When I'll make it quick. My grandfather died. And at the time I was living up north. So we came down to Alabama to bury my grandfather. And the pastor had me dying laughing. I mean, I'm in the pews with the family and I'm hand over the mouth trying not to laugh my ass off. Do you understand? Well, I'm looking around and I mean, people's faces just, you know, they ocean works. You know what I'm saying? They was using spiders back then. They'd have washed away, boy. I mean, they wasn't dry out in the house. I'm trying not to laugh because the pastor is doing the same type of dance that Justin Pearson was doing at a funeral. All that jumping around and spinning and Michael Jackson leg kicking and everything. He's doing the same shit at a funeral. I'd never seen anything so ridiculous in my life. I mean, sure, I was there to honor my grandfather, but damn, I didn't know we was gonna get a funeral and a show at the same time. I thought that normally happened afterwards, you know. Somebody trying to lighten the mood. Like, damn, they giving us giving us a performance right here during the funeral. Shit. And they might as well pass around some more herbs and some drinks. I mean, it was like a comedy show. You thought Michael Jackson was up there doing the last rites in the eulogy, giving the sermon. That's just how Justin Pearson, he did the same thing, pretty much. All that dancing and shit. I mean, I couldn't take this guy seriously. Maybe y'all can take somebody like that seriously. I can't take nobody like that seriously. That's ridiculous. You supposed to be a person in power? I mean, goddamn. I mean, Joel Osteen, you'll never see him dancing on the money. You'll never see him coming down on the wire. You know what I'm saying? Making a spectacle of himself. No. Even Creflo learned to turn it down, tone it down, tone it down. You don't have to be all theatrical. You already got the people's attention. You ain't got to entertain them. They there for the word. You got their pockets. You got their minds. So go ahead and preach the word, brother. Preach the word. Help these people get back out there on these slave wage jobs. Or hope not to off themselves because they're literally doing nothing but just wasting their lives at home. Give them some hope. You know, like you used to do on the plantation. You see them next Sunday to recharge their batteries. It has its needs and services. I'm not gonna crap on the church. I was, raised in the church. I saw it for what it was. And eventually, just like high school or school period, you gotta graduate. You go through stages where you graduate from that crap. It's not like graduating from a marriage. Unless it goes, what was it, Corey Heimlich, whatever her husband's name? Unless it goes his way. Yeah, honey, yep, you graduated. Yep, you out there. You out there. Meanwhile, you don't even hear about him. He looked like he done lost weight. He got the California shirt with the top buttons unbuttoned with a little suit jacket on, shades on, fresh cut, dating this chick, that chick. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, your kids are calling you a slut on video. Your son is disgusted by you. He's 11. Utterly disgusted by you. Even your own sister don't fuck with you. Now you at some $45,000 a year man, and they like, but wait, when we dug through your financials, found out your husband making 7 figures. Now you down here, you dating what we dating? The $45,000 man? You dating what we dating? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Sister girl, you have to hold this one. You have to hold this one. Meanwhile, we don't hear nothing bad about, the ex-husband. He out here living his best life. Let that feminism shit go to y'all heads, man. Ooh, you'd have thought you'd have learned that it don't work, but now you are learning that through the destruction. I was going to say death. I was thinking death, but I was going to say destruction. Through the destruction of the Democratic Party by the Supreme Court, and Trump is just setting all types of traps. This was probably the biggest trap for the Democrats. Was the whole gerrymandering thing. Because now I understand they're going to have to break up the one in Illinois. They're going to have to break up the one in California. They're going to have to break up the one in New York, and then Boston and Rhode Island and Pennsylvania. They're going to have to break them all up. Ohio, they got, well, not really Ohio, but probably wherever they are, they're going to have to break them all up. And you looking at, that's 20 seats is on the low end. You understand? 20 seats is on the low end. You lose 20 seats, you are the majority minority party, which means that your candidates have to win in red districts. They have to win the vote in red districts in order to get a seat in Congress. You understand? So that means that as a Democrat, your message has to be on point. It has to resonate with the majority voting bloc, where you can get somebody to cross a party line and vote you in. You understand? Like a Spencer Pratt. You see, Spencer Pratt is out there in California. This dude is winning simply based on memes. Because all he do is just, in the memes, he just state the facts. All he's doing is just listing Karen Bass, that Indian chick, and Gavin Newsom's shortcomings. He just keeps hammering and hammering on their failures. That fire being the biggest one. The fire and the homelessness, and the illegals. Let's not play like he didn't do that when he did the Hispanic commercial where he was dancing with his wife on stage, got her looking like a senorita. Yeah, that's his wife. Yeah, got her in the commercial, looking like, that, representing the stereotypical Latina hottie. Showing them that, hey, look, I'll clean up your areas too. You vote for me, I'll clean up your areas too, because I know y'all don't like this shit out here. He did the Will Smith one to appeal to the black vote. Call it racist, or you however you want to. That's called political strategy. You trying to get your messages across to everybody. He even did a 90210, one of them little goofy little white shows. He did one of them, The Hills, I think it was called. He even did one of them for his ad campaign, reaching out to the nerds with the superhero stuff. The average Joes. He getting his message out to everybody through AI. That's when you use AI correctly, people. Stop trying to fuck it. Use your creative brain. Yeah, he gonna win. He gonna win the mayoral race in California. Watch. I mean, they're just going by the poll numbers. But Karen Bass, after that first campaign where he just attacked her and she didn't have any answers, because she already know people ain't buying her excuses. Like the wind was only 45 miles per hour where we were. Our houses would have been saved if the reservoir wasn't dry. Your job was to keep it wet. You telling me it was dry for all this time because there was a tear in the hood, this little tear that you could have got somebody out here with a damn needle and thread. Just order another one. And we have billions of dollars in spending. Oh, you cut the spending. Oh, we got fire trucks out of service. You got a commercial where some butch lesbian chick is talking about some if I can't carry your husband out of the fire, he's got bigger things to worry about, or something like that, as if she would leave him. It was very inflammatory. Very inflammatory. And these people's homes burned down. Come to find out, it was a serial arsonist. It was a serial arsonist who should have been behind bars from previous crimes. He should have been behind bars. But your defund police policies got him out here on the streets. And because of that, you're about to lose not only the mayoral race, but the governor race too. You're about to lose those seats to Republicans, and Gavin Newsom is sitting up here talking about we got some dirty tricks up our sleeves to at least get one Democrat on the ticket. Like, oh, do you know? Oh, we got to see this. I mean, in so many words, that's what he said. Even though the two top, they have the system in California is that the two top most voted on candidates, no matter what party they're in, they have to go head to head. Okay, for the governorship. So the two top tier people who are running for governor of California are Republicans. The sheriff guy and some other dude. People like the sheriff. I forget his name, but people like the sheriff because he looked like the typical, California desert type of sheriff. No nonsense. He goes by the book. And then the other guy, they both have the same message. That's why they're the two top tiers. So Gavin Newsom is going to try to rig it to where one of them, probably the sheriff, will have to drop out, and therefore, because the third tier person is a Democrat. So he's going to try to force one of them out in order to put the Democrat in. And then, of course, based on gerrymandering, if he wins based on race, he wins the racial vote, then of course he wins, all of these districts and whatnot, and he becomes governor of California. But if you take away the gerrymandering, then you got to go by vote count. And if you run a Democrat, your two top tier candidates are both Republican, and you make one Republican drop out in order to force the Democrat for them to vote for the Democrat, and somehow try to steal the election based on race instead of vote, you're going to lose because they're not going to vote for your candidate. That's why they're in third place, and that's only because there are no other Republicans running. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to win that. It's going to be a landslide unless you find a way to cheat. That's the only way a Democrat would have a shot at being governor. You would have to cheat. You would have to rig it. Because they're losing districts. If the gerrymandering rule suddenly gets hit, if California gets struck by the gavel of SCOTUS, then you're going to see them lose a lot of seats. I think they're going to lose at least possibly 13 seats or 26 seats, something like that. I mean, you lose California alone, you can forget it. Personally, I see it as a good thing, not just because of how the Democratic Party is a criminal organization, but I think, in all honesty, it would definitely help Black folks. It would definitely help Black folks. And you like, well, how? You see what Trump has done. He's put in welfare reform where you got starting January 1st of this year. So, you now got 19 months to get yourself a job, or your benefits will not be renewed unless you are elderly or disabled or veteran. So if you're not one of those three and you've been on it for 2 years, you're done. You'll lose your voucher. You're not getting any stamps. You know what I'm saying? No more Section 8. You're done. No more check. Get your ass out there and work. To me, that's the best thing that could happen for Black folks as well. Oh my God, they tricked our grandmothers, and mothers. They tricked them, boy. They made them really think that they was trying to give them some form of reparations, or pay them just because they Black women and all this stuff. Whatever the fuck they was feeding y'all. Y'all believe that shit. But now those days are over. And the Black men that you've been shitting on for the past 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, however long, ever since the beginning of time, but here in this country, let's say since the origins of slavery in this country, because I know y'all was running y'all mouth during that time. Since creation. Whew, y'all now gonna have to depend on brothers to take care of y'all. Y'all gonna have to depend on brothers to take care of y'all. And a lot of y'all just ain't gonna make the cut. You out of shape, got kids by other dudes. You don't know how to behave. You feel like you can't nobody tell you what to do. Causing up all types of drama and trouble. Don't cook, don't clean, barely wash your ass. Yeah, the days of financial irresponsibility are over. I mean, you can continue to be it, but you'll probably wind up homeless. It's a matter of survival now. How you gonna handle it? This is why I say it's gonna take at least 2 generations to shake this off, especially of black people, because you're gonna have the first generation that's still gonna be trying to hook and crook in order to survive. But they're not gonna want that life for their daughters. And the daughters are gonna smarten up and realize that they don't want that life for themselves. And their sons are gonna understand that, yeah, I can get out here and get in this workforce because there's a lot of blue collar jobs out here. I mean, the educational system is screwed, but I can at least swing a hammer. You know what I'm saying? I can drive a truck, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can work a warehouse. I can learn how to drive a forklift. I can go to trucking school. A brother's gonna find a way to make some money, but it's the sisters that's gonna be out in the cold. So it'll be a complete reversal. You'll be more so trying to push your son out in the workforce at 16, 17 years old. Your daughter too, if you're smart. But mainly these women now, what they're going to be doing, they're going to be pushing their sons out in the workforce so that way they can live off of their children. So instead of getting a check from the government to live off of the children, you are now living off of your child's paycheck. That's what it's going to be. The grandmas are going to teach the grandchildren, hey, look, this is what you do. Just like they taught their daughters and granddaughters how to live on welfare, how to use a man. Yeah, except now the conversation has changed. It's changed. How to use a man, because you can't use the government. You can use the government for a quick minute. They say 7 years on food stamps. If you have a kid, you're working, you're doing at least 20 hours, you can get up to, and you have a kid, you can get at least 7 years. If your kid is like a newborn or whatever. And then they cut you off. That's enough time for you to, do whatever you got to do to improve your education or whatever. You got 2 years to go ahead and get some type of scholarship to get into school or whatnot. Learn how to type, learn a trade, whatever. 2 years on the government assistance. So really, you're looking at 5 years on food stamps if you have a kid. The whole reason why you got on, assistance was because you had a kid. So you're looking at 2 years to get your education up and get a job. You got 5 years of not having to worry about feeding the kid. All right. And because of Robert F. Kennedy, your kid won't be eating a lot of unhealthy food because of food stamps regulations. No more soda pop, no more candy, stuff like that. No more crab legs, all that stuff. Plus they took a lot of chemicals out of the food. So, at least you're not eating a lot of processed garbage. And you definitely can't spend it at McDonald's. So you can't get fast food. That's out. They no longer accept fast food restaurants, no longer accept EBT. So no more pizzas. You're done. So at least you'll be eating a nutritious meal. May not be to your liking, but it'll be to your benefit. So you have 5 extra years for that. And then you're done. So in 7 years, you should be able to be stable enough to where you won't even need to be on SNAP right before it ends. But you just not reporting it. You know what I'm saying? So last year, like, well, I don't have to tax dodge no more or whatever. Or you done wound up getting you a good job where you like, all right, cool. We make just enough. Well, I make just enough. He in school, he can walk home from school. He at that age. It's elementary school. Getting older. He knows the neighborhood. He's been back and forth to school enough. While I'm out here working. He gonna be all right. Yeah, you good. You good. You know, you at least you walking. You're not running, but you walking. You know what I'm saying? You got a good stride going for you. You should have that within 7 years, with the way that this country is going with the tariffs and the jobs and everything. Yeah, no more Democrat though. No more voting based on race. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of these black leaders aren't worth the spit anyway. Jasmine Crockett, Justin Pearson, Brandon Scott, Letitia Cantrell. I mean, Tiffany Henyard she won the seat down here in Georgia by voting Republican. And she did it because, let's be honest, everybody knows Republicans are the hot ticket right now. A lot of people are voting Republican. The Republicans are winning a lot of seats, as the Democrats are losing seats based on, gerrymandering being eliminated based on race. I mean, why do you think Jasmine Crockett she can't run for Congress? She lost her district, and she can't run for Senate because she lost the runoff. she got destroyed. She came in last place. Got her out here begging for a job. Yeah, because not enough people want to vote for what the hell you talking about. He was calling us slaves if we were Hispanic and voted for Trump. Said we were slave minded. Like, what? You think we left a republic? A banana republic? Yeah. Yeah, no. You offending white people? Then you thought you was gonna win a Senate seat? After they took away your district? I mean, you can make all the sound bites you want to. Ain't nobody paying you no attention. You out here like AOC barking behind bulletproof glass. I take you seriously. All right. Let me get out of here. I'm just saying. I mean, the bottom line and I know I could have said all this, but I just want to talk to y'all, get this stuff off me. I'm saying is, it ain't enough. It ain't enough for y'all that we're voting for. So you lost. Hopefully your stranglehold over the black people will be over, and they can actually now vote on the issues instead of based on race, where you get a Wes Moore. You know what I'm saying? You get a Tiffany Henyard. I mean, this woman shouldn't be on anybody's election board, but she won her seat down here in Fulton County. She won a seat as one of the commissioners. She ran as a Republican because people are so sick and tired of Democrats that, I mean, goddamn, Tiffany Henyard won a seat down here in Fulton County as one of the commissioners on a Republican ticket, going up against two other black females who are Democrats. People are done with y'all, man.
No, gentlemen, Mr. Butler's been up north, I hear. Don't you agree with this, Mr. Butler?
I think it's hard winning a war with words, gentlemen.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, Mr. Hamilton, there's not a cannon factory in the whole South.
What difference does that make, sir, to a gentleman?
I'm afraid it's going to make a great deal of difference to a great many gentlemen, sir.
Are you hinting, Mr. Butler, that the Yankees can lick us?
No, I'm not hinting. I'm saying very plainly that the Yankees are better equipped than we. They've got factories, shipyards, coal mines, and a fleet to bottle up our harbors and starve us to death. All we've got is cotton and slaves and arrogance.
That's treachery!
A problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
All right, bye. Thanks for the fun.
Get the fuck out!